Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 in our theme park of Mytholandria. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope to bring you an awesome episode. It is also one of the most nervous episodes since I started the series because we are actually going to build our first roller coaster. And yes, it will be customized. We'll see how that goes. We may use pre-builts in the future, and in fact I do want to look at the pre-builts today to see if there is something more fitting that I have by default, because again, as I've made it several times before, it is much easier for me to take a pre-built and customize it, which you guys seem to enjoy because it makes me more approachable, is basically the comment consensus, and I enjoy that. I'm happy to be that type of creator for you guys. But we're going to take a look. We're going to make our first Greek roller coaster, but first I wanted to take a look at what we have finished over here in our park, on the water park side. So we have finally finished. I did turn collision off, which is the solution that worked for me. So thank you guys so much for that. I honestly didn't even know that turning off collision was something that I could do. And so collision is turned off now and forever, and it is going to help me be so much more creative. So I really, hands down, appreciate you guys letting me know about it. But before we begin, as always, if you want to support the channel and this video and the theme park in total, you can do so by giving the video a like, by subbing to the channel, and then of course by leaving your comments in the comment section down below. Just as a heads up, if you do become a member at any tier, you totally get all of these videos early. Sometimes it's just a couple of hours early. Sometimes it's a little bit longer than that. So totally do so if you can, but it is absolutely no obligation whatsoever. Anyways, this does look great. I'm very, very satisfied with how it turned out. I love the split here. We weren't able to get the same exact length, which does bug me a little bit. Believe me, I fiddled with it forever and I still couldn't figure it out. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't bug me that much. I can get over it, surely, because I love watching people take these slides. It is so much fun to see, and I'm glad that people are actually coming in and enjoying it. It makes it awesome. Over here on the backside, I think personally that we've done a great job, I've done a great job making this accessible and full of life and just approachable. So we have a couple of vending machines. We have our foliage over here, which really kind of makes this more of a grandiose entrance, as it were. We do have a little bit of a cutout here that I could fix. I didn't notice that. But we do have our lighthouse and our Viking house split with a little bit of a blocked off gated entrance just to prevent people from wandering in. And then of course, leading all the way up to our cloud, which probably could be a little more cloudy, I'll be completely honest. But the issue is that I can't get to the other animations here. And as you can see, the frame rate drops terribly. So I really don't want to tank the frame rate of the entire park by doing that. We'll do this approachable in other ways. But overall, I think it turned out great. It is attracting a lot of people. We're making gobs of money, which is not anything we have to worry about, I think, ever again. But what we need to do over here now is, it's been so long since we've gone to the Greek side. Not only that, but there's just not a lot of things for people to do on the Greek side. Admittedly, there's not a lot to do over here on the Viking side, despite being 9 episodes in. We're hopefully going to fix that. We're going to start progressing a little more quickly and start doing a lot more stuff. But people seem to still love our cube. We're going to call this the brass bowl. There we go. And then what we're going to do today, hopefully over here, is we're going to build our first theme park roller coaster ride. And it's going to be based on Medusa. Now, my inspiration for Medusa is, one, there is a Medusa ride in one of the Six Flags parks that I researched a little bit over the weekend, but also in terms of aesthetic or appeal or theme, the Medusa scene from Clash of the Titans, like the newer one, which was back in 2010, which is 14 years ago, and that's absolutely bonkers because it feels like I just watched that yesterday. It's been a long time. But regardless, that's what we're going to do today. One of the really, really cool things that I did some research over the weekend to do is I figured out how to use the moving platforms. And of course, it's not going to do that. Oh, where are you? There they are. So we have a set of moving platforms, one that goes back and forth horizontally, one that goes up and down, and then one that does a nice little rotation. And we're going to utilize maybe all 3 of them as best that we can to make things well, a lot more approachable and a lot more thematic. So hopefully that's going to be really good. I can also try and fiddle with the coaster animation sequences. We're going to see how those work. But what we're going to do first, I do have some research. In terms of coasters, we're going to research that boyo. We have so much research, I could probably just research everything. All right, that's all we'll do for now. But we definitely have some good things on the horizon in terms of the park. That's okay. All right, coasters, what we want to do. So essentially, my goal for the Medusa roller coaster is to create something where we are almost constantly avoiding the Medusa herself. Like that's kind of the goal, is to create a space that we're just narrowly missing her the entire time. And while these are flippin' bonkers rides, look at that thing. That's not what we're gonna do. I'm gonna look around real quick and see if there's one that I really like. There may not be, and that's totally fine, because we could build one ourselves, but that does make me a little more hesitant because I've never custom built one that has been successful ever in my life. So we'll see if that even is a thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I found one that I really like, but I don't know that I want to use it, and instead use it more as inspiration. So this is the sandworm in the game, which is really cool. But basically what I saw when I very first got access to the game is one of the first tutorials had one of these drop down boyos, and this is what I did want, because I essentially want to like drop into the temple scene in order to kind of have our first little drop scare. Now obviously this would go either underground or just be carved out, probably carved out. But what I just absolutely love about this is it does all the things I want to accomplish. It has our nice drop down. It does a big loop where we could again have our avoidances. Like I mentioned, it is tight and compact, which is another big feature for me. At the moment, I don't want ginormous coasters. We have some just stupidly huge ones that I just don't want to make right now. And instead, I really prefer these more compact ones. So if we took a look at this one, and yes, it is underground, going into the ground, it's all good. It does have exactly a lot of the features that I like. It's not too terribly long. There's lots of things we could build in here where you're going under columns. Some nice twists and turns to try and avoid Medusa. And then it ends in a nice little alley-oop. And your ride ends there. Now, what is the park rating for this? So I kind of have my inspiration down. That does everything we need it to. Okay, I think I have my inspiration here. And essentially, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say this right up front, that if I get into my roller coaster building and I don't feel I'm sufficient at it at the moment, or I'm just not accomplishing what I want to do, I will utilize the sandworm and we will rename it. We'll add all the things over here and we'll build it to thematic Medusa theme without a doubt. So what I'm going to also start doing is not doing so many time lapses where the entire episode is a time lapse, but take little breaks in between and do more in between slow motion things in regular form, which may extend the time just a little bit for you guys, which is something I know you want. And then also just give you more interaction where it's not just me going in. Someone made that comment, and I was like, you know what? It's been in the back of my brain, and I really agree with it. So we're definitely gonna start figuring those things out. But I'm gonna start by deleting these trees for now. We can always add them later. We are not hurting for money, so don't worry about that. Now, the real question is, I don't feel like this is a sufficient... Oh, gross. Come on, man. Really? Really? That's nasty. Let's add a couple of janitors. Where's my janitors? There you go. Just clean that up. But I don't feel like this area right here is sufficient enough to warrant the entrance into our big thing. So we might replace this. Oh, that's right. This was a staff path. That's what it is. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to go ahead. We're going to add our Medusa theme, we're gonna again start with some blueprints because I really enjoy what the blueprints bring to us. And honestly, this is, oh, I wish this was bigger. You know what? I bet we could take this as inspiration, add lots of fire and ruins, and utilize this bad boy. I bet we could. I bet we could totally do this. All right, well, it is time to get to work and figure out what we need to do to get all this up and started. I'll be right back. All right, well, isn't exactly what I was wanting. The nausea is good, the fear isn't great, and the excitement isn't great. I'm curious on what I have to do. I understand that's not too great, but I wonder what I have to do in order to keep the excitement up super high. And again, this is where I'm not knowledgeable whatsoever, so it just seems like they just need more stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you guys see what I did, and I'm going to let you guys in the comment section tell me what I need to improve to make this a better coaster, and we'll do that in the future. Okay, that's just basically what we're going to say here. And so I still really enjoy everything that was going down before with the sandworm, so we're going to make that one happen. So guys, apologies. I thought I could do it. It's okay that I can't. I'm not complaining whatsoever. We need to stop going so incredibly fast. And then we are going to make the sandworm work for us the way I want it to. And this should be really, really interesting to do. I am very, very excited for it. So no worries there. And I think we could probably almost leave it up to right here and then allow people to come up and do what they need to do. So we're going to place that there. We don't need any of this excess stuff here, to the point where I could just go whoop, and then we could flatten it. If I can remember the right tools. There we go. Game seems really a little bit laggy today. Not sure why. But here we go. So here is our main Medusa set. Now what we need to do, I'm going to do right off the bat, we're going to customize our color palette. Our track areas are going to be, I think, black. Black is, or coaster areas, coaster cars. And this is the cool thing, is that we can customize these to do what we want. Coaster car area 1. I think we are going to make this not mostly black, but again, kind of, I don't know that I want to lean on that dark sapphire stuff, but also I don't like, that dark red actually isn't too bad. Coaster car area 3. We can make like a fire brick, almost like we're doing a fire effect kind of a thing. There we go. All right, cars, trains. Yeah, we're definitely fine with that. I think we could do 5. That's fine there. Minimum half load. We don't need to worry about any of that stuff at the moment. But what we do need, I just want to, we're going to test it real quick. All right, test successful. I just wanted to make sure we got that down. And now we get to design our own custom things. And again, I really do like this. For one, we couldn't really do it because actually we could do it right like this. But this isn't what I'm going for. I do really like the appeal of this guy more, and it's something that we can work with a little bit easier than we could otherwise. And again, with collision off, there's so many more options that I have to do in the best of ways. I think it's going to be really, really fun. I will come back when we're ready to add some sequencing that'll really make this thing go above and beyond what it has the ability to in the first place. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some tweaking that I got to do to make sure all of this stuff lines up. But I'm here for it because I'm really excited what we can accomplish with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a start. I do like the fact that I can go in and change all of this. I do need to actually like remove this guy from existence. No Zeus here. This is a forsaken temple. And why is there random stuff on the backside? It hasn't been turned. All of you, what are you doing? Everything must be tainted, 100%. And I actually don't mind that not everything is absolutely perfect on this. It's just supposed to be like a corrupted dead temple. And I think that works out pretty darn well. We can add the duplicate and move down for this column specifically. Just a little bit of a bigger column is all. There we go. That actually looks a lot better. Now what we need to do is we need to add in our Medusas. Now this is where the really fun part of the thing comes into. I'm not going to finish this today, unfortunately, because while I don't want it to be 100% enclosed, it does need to have a decent number of enclosures, because that's kind of the whole point of Medusa scaring people, like, obviously. But one of the cool things that we can do is we can just have her pop up. So let's go ahead and get the moving platforms. And so for instance, we could do a vertical platform, so that way when they pop up or when they drop, we can have her come in here. Now, one of the cool things here is if you were to do on trigger only, we want to go an explosive down to up. So whenever that happens, it's just, it pops up immediately. And so then what we're going to do, we're going to get our Medusa. We're going to put her, we want to make sure that it's within this moving platform. And then we want to make sure she's placed anywhere within there. Obviously, I think we could fine tune it. And to be also completely honest, is that we don't have to have the platform be right where it can be down here, and we can simply have our Medusa who's attached to it come right here. We could move her a little bit. Eventually we're going to have her on like poles and stuff to be able to jolt her around. Oh, nope. But then, okay, so that's where she pops up at the height of it. So we definitely want to go up quite a bit. Maybe just a little ways away, so they don't actually hit. And then also on, did that not work? It didn't work. Dadgummit. The controls are a little bit wonky, I'm not gonna lie. Check mark. So when they come past, it pops up and that scares the holy living crap out of them. Now one of the cool things here is that within the Medusa statue itself, we can do this to where it does it on the trigger only. Cool. Now what we could do, and this is where I don't know exactly, are we allowed to, I don't know exactly where I can do the whole add in the custom trigger sequences. Cool, awesome. There's a new trigger right here. Drop down Medusa, pop up. We're gonna edit. It's going to be, we're going to add these peeps. Is it just this whole thing? Confirm selected. And then, well, the thing is, I don't know when exactly I can pull the trigger. It needs to happen right when the track, or when they get there, and I'm not sure how to do that. Oh, right there. Okay, cool. So whenever they're like right here, that's when I want that to happen. So let's see if it works. Come on down. Hello. Nice. That actually worked perfectly. Very cool. So if I was over in here, we're gonna actually test this out real quick. Nope, I don't want to do it on that one. Cool. Now let's go into the camera. I don't want to do that. How do I go train car 2? There we go. A little bit of live action stuff, a little bit different from the norm. Now, obviously, I would want to have this where you couldn't even see Medusa. So you're not going to see her until it actually drops. And that is absolutely terrifying. This is petrifying. Nice. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. We could probably move to like right there. So that way it really scares the holy living crap out of them, because they're almost going too fast for that to matter. Now, one of the cool things is, so we're going to do that. We're going to have that first scare. And then as we go out, as we go throughout, there's a couple of instances where I almost want to like make it to where we're barely avoiding her. And one of the things that I do want to see, can I scale her up? Ah, I can't scale her up, dadgummit. But what I can do is, I think this has a motion too. Or is that strictly a plaque? That's strictly a plaque. Okay, well, it's unfortunate that I can't actually make it multiple animations, but we may have her to where it's like right here. She is on this column right here. In fact, this is what we are going to do. She'll be on this column, and then as they are going around, I'm going to sequence where they're just, again, barely missing her as she's turning around. Now, it won't be exact because I don't think I can control exactly what happens in that instance. But again, it's just that idea that we're narrowly avoiding her. We're trying to find ways to get away from her. Even like escaping into the tunnel, or perhaps she's in this tunnel, that kind of a deal. And then just making it a really fun interactive experience. Now, one of the things I do want to make sure we do on this ride is that operation block sectioned. I don't know what that means. Don't block station, we're not going to worry about that. But I don't want people hanging out there. I think they would get upset if that happened. And so I'd rather just allow them to come in and wait for that to get full. But yeah, so we're going to just do another small little time lapse as I place my people here, as I figure out the trigger sequences that work well, and we will be just right back. So I actually really enjoy how this is all looking. So we have a few sequences which are starting to get really easy for us to use. So we have our first Medusa scare here. We're going to have our second Medusa scare, which should have triggered there, but that's okay. That's going to drop down and scare them. We are going to have a Medusa that comes in as soon as that triggers, and it's supposed to go all the way across. So again, we got to figure that one out. We have our Medusa, which is chasing them in this particular instance, which is great. And then that's the end of the road. So this is kind of the basis start of where we're wanting to go. Now, again, we do have some trigger sequences that are needing to be a bit refined, and I need to remember where they are every time. It's in the edit trigger sequence. Sweet. Okay, cool. So what we need to do is we need to make our Medusa here. Oh, because it's our Medusa statue, which is fine. But we need to add an object, and we need to actually add this guy, which will be the moving platform, and that's what brings him in. So that's what we did wrong. We got to have both, which I'm totally fine with both. That works there. And then we're going to do the same here. We only have the Medusa statue. We need to include this guy. So then, whenever we do that, and I may do, if you guys might find this beneficial, I can do some a tutorial on the edit trigger sequences for both rides and for the just animation board, if that's something you feel would be useful. But basically, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Wait for them to drop down. And I just want to make sure that all these trigger well, so that way I'm leading you guys down the right path and not towards something else. There we go. First scare there. We'll put a column like we did for this one. And then we're coming up and around. We're about to go into the tunnel. And that tunnel triggers Medusa to come there. There may be an issue where they would actually like decapitate someone. We'll have to see. And then they're coming across. She's chasing them. That's great. The final thing is we're trying not to get hit by Medusa, and the ending is there. That is awesome. That is everything that exactly what I wanted. Now the kicker that we have to do is we have to decorate all of this, and I'm not looking forward to that, because while it will look awesome and we're going to add some great effects, it's a lot. Like, there's a lot to go here. So what I am going to do is we're going to wrap up today's episode by attaching the cues, and we'll figure out some cool cue things to make this a bit more of a dramatic entrance to where it looks good. That actually would be pretty cool to kind of go into a tunnel. So we may do that. And that's actually a pretty decently long queue, in my opinion. And then we are going to do a rather large path up to here, because this isn't going to be the only ride over in this section. And then we'll definitely theme it up over here. But for now, we simply just need an accessible walkway down. That was a little more difficult than it needed to be, and we can totally tidy this up right here. Just bring it in just a smidge, right like that. Same thing for over here, bring it in just a smidge. Sweet. Okay, cool. Now again, I am going to build this up. We are going to make it look awesome. I'm not concerned about that whatsoever. But what the main purpose of this is, we're gonna redo that. We'll make it look good. Is that we want to open it up. Now, I think the bigger issue is that we have no power. Or we do have power. Cool. Awesome. We are having our Medusa. It's not the sandworm anymore. It's Medusa's lair. And while this goes against the pearly white theme, I think it'll look great when people over here and they're like, what the heck is this? And why is there a dark temple? I think it'll look great. We probably should get rid of this or add a support. Again, there's lots that needs to go on. Unfortunately, I'm just out of time. It kills me. You guys have no idea how much it kills me that I can't just come in and spend, 3 hours making things look great. It really destroys me inside, but I think we're off to a great start here. We're going to finish this out. We'll probably spend the next episode working on it. A little bit of mix again of time lapses and non-time lapses, but overall, the concept that I have here is flippin' great, and I really do enjoy how it looks and the way that it works. And the real kicker is, how do I find a good thumbnail for an unfinished ride that really shows off what I'm looking for inside of this park? I mean, that's just the real kicker, is make something look good without having a floating thing. I think Medusa, if I could get her in focus. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. I mean, I need to come over here just a little bit, showing you guys live what it takes to make a good thumbnail. I think that'll look pretty good. I think y'all will be pretty excited to see that, hopefully. Because I can't get in any closer. I suppose I could. There we go. Hopefully that conveys what you guys are looking forward to seeing. We've already got people coming in. People are already excited to try and test it out, which is awesome to see. And we're going to make this very thematic. And I'm really looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Ooh, that's different. Ooh, that's a cool guest mood thing. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed today's episode. That you are... Oh man, people are actually writing it. Oh, this is exciting. I am ready for this. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to let me know, of course, in all the ways, by giving the video a like, by subscribing to the channel, by having people run in through this thing. Oh, good Lord. So I may have to shift all of this. That's okay. People literally just ran through here. I didn't even realize that that was the thing that would happen. It's okay. It's okay. I need to stop panicking. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, leave your comments in the comments section. And again, if you're interested in receiving videos early, especially from Mytholandria, you can do so by becoming a member at any tier whatsoever. It does not matter. Everyone gets access. Thank you once again. This is Havoc. I'll see you in the next video.